Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US indices for Tuesday, September the 21st, which is the full moon, the corn harvest moon in the US. So with the Russell here, as you know, we've been looking at this as a larger correction here in line with the SP500. And the S&P500 has moved down further, so that's why looking and comparing the two patterns, which I won't do at the moment, I was assuming that this was an ABC for the B wave here, and we still have further to move down through here. Now, obviously, we're at the 2,200 here, so that will need to be retested before it gets rejected and fails and moves down further from that point. Now we have 5 waves down in this first leg through here, so I'm reasonably confident we're going to be having more through here. So on the 1 hour chart that we've been tracking it on here, let me bring this back into perspective. So from the top here, we've got a very clear 5 wave structure, as you know. Then we had our ABC, so we could go short, and then we want to get a short under the level here. This is probably an impulse wave through here as well, but as I mentioned, there will be some sort of, we've got our first move up here already, there'll be something else here, some sort of retest here and then down again from that point. That's what I'm sort of looking at there for that. So I'll just move straight on to the NASDAQ, and we need to talk about that, and also the S&P, of course. So yeah, I mean, it looks like at the 15,000, it appears that we've got a classic trading levels pattern here, where we have the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then we have a corrective pattern. Now, because it's wave 4, it becomes a little bit tricky because, out of the dozen or so different types of corrections, they're all going to occur in this space here. So, yeah, well, the first thing is that it would be pretty safe to put the A wave here. Now, the A wave can be 5 waves or it can be 3 waves. That's the thing, because, I mean, in a wave 4, we could get a triangle, or we could get, well, all sorts of things, all the flat corrections and so on and so on. So, yeah, what I normally do before I start making any decisions about anything is the first thing to do is I wait to see if I actually get 5 waves down for the A wave or 3 waves down. So yeah, we still need to wait for that in a nutshell. But being a wave 4, we would expect it to be pretty large. So we're kind of looking for something, decent size in this space. So yeah, just to recap, we're either going to get 5 waves down, or we're going to get 3 waves down. Now, technically, the wave 4 can pull back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. Now, I don't want to get people too saddened or excited in that sort of thing, so we just take one step at a time, and we just work the intraday counts for this. So that said, let's just go in and have a look at those. I think I've been working on the tick chart, but we can work from here. So there's a couple of things here. First of all, I need to upgrade all of these to a higher level. So that means that if I can just do that quickly here. So let's just get these done. Sorry about that, I should have had these done, but it's been a busy morning. I did get up a little bit earlier today. Oops, I've got 2, 4, oh God. Yeah, and again, all looking really good this morning, Pete. 2, 3, 4, 4's gone. Let's use this one, let's fix the mess. And 5, there we go, we finally solved the mess. So, yeah, when we spoke yesterday, we understood that the move down here was 5 waves. So we could call it wave A or wave 1, and then wave 2 and wave B. And that's all fine, we can still do that, but we'll need to upgrade these now. So if I move these out of the way here, and I'm going to put wave 1 here, but I will put the A wave here, but I'm going to put the wave 1 on top, because this move down here was rather sharp, so it's more like a 3rd wave rather than a C wave. wave, but we'll look at that as well in a moment. And yeah, so I'll just move these out of the way. Just wanted to sort of, as I mentioned yesterday, get the degree of structure right with this. We've got to start working on that, you know. So I don't want to delete these little guys. They're handy, so I'll just put them over there. Don't need that big skinny fat dude there, so that's gone. Yeah, so let me just think about this for a moment. Don't need that one for a moment. Don't need that one for a moment. We can replace that with that. And then this is what I need to talk about. So I'll remove that one and I'll put this one here. Actually, I could use these guys here. I could take that away. Take that away. We can send these guys to their graves. We don't need those. We've got those. I'll use this A wave here. There's a B wave floating around over there and a C wave here. So don't need that 5 waves. That really needs to go in there, but we don't need to worry about that at the moment. So finished talking to myself. So from this top here, there's, in both cases with the S&P and the NASDAQ, there's a good case that we've got 5 waves down here. And we're going to pull that apart on the tick chart and look at that. But the point being is that we have 5 waves here, so we can call it wave 3 or wave C. Now, the other thing about all of this too, which I have to say, is that yeah, we've started the big wave 4 and we're coming down and all the rest of it. And if we do have 5 waves down here in blue, then we could call this the A wave here, and then we'll look for a B wave up here. What I want to say first up is that we have the truth, or the reality of the matter is that we have a 3-wave move here. So I have to say that it is possible for the market just to push straight up from that point, right? So that's on the cards, right? But besides that, which is probably not quite the case, but I have to say it, you know, we need to look at everything. We don't want to stick our head in the sand, because that's really, you know, that gets a bit dangerous at that point. The next thing is that this move down through here can be counted as an ABC pattern, and that ABC pattern can also be the wave 5 there. So sorry, the orange wave A there, that could be the case there. So first of all, let's go to the most likely scenario, that we've got 5 waves down here for wave 3, an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave coming back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, which I need to replace these into green, and then have another 5 waves down. That would give us 5 waves down here, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and then we would have the ABC pattern pulling back up 50 or 60% of from that top to that bottom. That would pull back up 50 or 60%. That would be our starting point, and then we would have wave C coming down, because if we get 5 waves, larger waves down here in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that will be the A. Because we get 5 waves here, that means we'll just simply have a correction, and then we'll have another 5 down. And that kind of makes sense to me a little bit, you know. So I think that's where we are. But also I just need to point out that if we're just going to, because this is the wave 4s, you know, they're just crazy complicated guys, you know. So I should call them girls. Sorry, girls. So if we've just got an A and a B and a C wave down here, then that means that we would pull up higher at this point. And this is the same for the S&P. When markets are in fear, they all mirror each other. So this is the 50-60% here for that. So what I'm saying here is that if this is just 3 waves down, a little bit unlikely because of the speed of which this move down is typically wave 3 sort of stuff. But if this market's going to rally, then instead of having this ABC pattern to the 4th wave of 1 lesser degree, which is 38.2%, and we'll have a look at that in a moment, we could actually come up higher here and have a larger correction for this wave B and then move down at that point. With me? So that's what we need to monitor a little bit. So I'm just going to go to the tick chart now. So first of all, these need to be upgraded to, you know, the blue dudes, and they could be wave Bs there as well, so I better put one of them there, just so I told you so kind of stuff. It's just the child in me. And yeah, so we have a very clear 5 waves down here of 1 and 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 3 and 4 and 5. I'm very confident about that. Okay, so you can go check all that, and you can just, you know, distill the chart for a moment and do your own work. So this looks impulsive up here. I haven't actually counted it, and it may go a bit higher, but we'd be looking for an A wave, a B wave in 3 waves here, and then a C wave up here in 5 waves. The bottom end here at 15,100 is the 38.2%, and the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree over here is that one there. So then we would have 5 waves coming down through here. So probably wouldn't go too far down, because when we're talking about going down here, we'd be talking of group 2. So 800 is group 2, that's minor level 8. So we can go 14,650, if I can get that there without, anyway, close enough. And the 72 in here, so 14,720, close enough for the time being. That would probably be the support for this market at this point, because we've got group 1 here and group 2 below. This will be the swing range, and the market is slowing down, so this is the space we're going to be spending time in. So we'd be back here and up here, and then we would go down again after that. That's that's kind of what I'm thinking. So what we're going to do is just, let me just have a little look at this guy in here. Yeah, that's corrective, so there's another little move up there, but that's okay. So that will be wave A. Wave B will pull back 50. It won't pull back 50. I mean, look, okay, pull back 50 or 60%. But the thing is when you're working with large numbers, they tend to become, they can skew the count a little bit, you know. So let's just tidy this up a little bit. So what we're looking for here, we'll pick this up tomorrow. This is all just short covering from taking profits here. I took profits on mine as well, but I needed that capital to hammer the Asian markets when they come online this morning. So we'll be looking for an ABC pattern here, and then 5 waves up here for this. Something like that, okay? So we'll pick this up tomorrow, and the job tomorrow really, or in the next session really, is to figure out if we're going to get wave 4 here and then come down for wave 5. Look, if we can catch it, that's fine. I don't think we should really get involved in this one too much. We'll put that. Let's see if we get. The good news is if we get 5 waves down here, we'll trade this other leg down here. Okay. We'll trade from B to C. That's the one that we want. And who knows, it might even be a larger 3rd wave as well. But I'll always be conservative. But this is where we'll be definitely looking to short. So the thing is that if you've made money in the trend, and we've had good positions in here for this, if you've made money in the trend, you tend to give it back in the corrections. So the first thing that you do, because you create all this psychological stuff too, you know, attachment, and you think that it's all going to be easy and all that stuff, and what you see here is what you think you're going to get next. You always get the opposite of what you're looking at. It's not like buying a car or suit or whatever. You always get the opposite of what you're looking at. So once that penny drops, then that makes life a little bit easier. But I think that if you've made good money here, I think you should just, you know, congratulate yourself and have a little bit of a rest. And you could poke around in this move down through here if it was going to occur, but use less money. Do not lose what you've made here. Right, because we want to put that in over this side. We won't be interested in this very much here. It'll be choppy and horrible and all the rest of it. But we'll see. You know, there'll be moments in there that we may be able to catch. But it's this leg here that we want, right? This is our next trade, really. So yeah, don't become, you know, a junkie to the price, you know. So just be mindful of that. Okay, enough waffling. So if you're still in the market at the moment, I certainly take some off the table, you know, because that way you can relax a little bit more. And if you relax, you can do a better job on the next trade, you know. Okay, the S&P now, on the weekly chart here. This is what I was sort of saying. So we've got sort of 3 waves down here at the moment. So, you know, I've got counts that can take us higher. So it is possible for us to go higher up here, right? So that was the first thing. I mean, because the thing here is that the length of wave 1 here, we still don't, it's still, wave 3 is still not longer than wave 1, you know, so that sort of, that haunts me in the background a little bit. So until we actually get, we've got 3 waves down, until we actually get 5 waves down and come a little bit deeper, then I know that we'll get a correction and then we'll get another move. In fact, from this low to this high here, the 4,000 or just above that is the 38.2% retracement level. Will it come back to that point? I don't know. I mean, if we get 5 waves down here, then it's probable that we'll come pretty close to it. But if we only get 3 waves here, we could end up in some sort of triangle pattern and not come as low, you know, or some other sort of flat correction or double zigzag or something. But it looks like we will get 5 waves. And as I mentioned before, I always wait for the first leg to really complete down to see if I get 3 waves or 5 waves. Then I know what to do next with a lot of confidence. But being in the guessing game is not a good space to be in, you know. Well, we can play it and it's fun, but we'll still need to go to the intraday to actually do serious business. So yeah, that's kind of it in a bit of a nutshell. And yeah, so you know, the world's not over. We'll see another move to the upside once this is all done. It's how long this will take is the question. And yeah, and you know, as I mentioned coming into this, that it was going to be a bit of a nightmare. Okay, so where do we go from here? We'll go to the daily chart. And yeah, so this is what we're looking at. We could put that there, we can put that up there a little bit, and I'm just guessing here a little bit, and the 38.2% retracement level is just above the one, somewhere around the 100, I have to remember, but it doesn't really matter. So we've got wave 1, 2 and 3 down. So what we need to see is, like, will we get 5 waves down? Because if we do, then we know where we are at that point, because it'll be simple. We'll get 3 for the B wave, and then we'll get another 5 coming down here for wave C. And then we can buy here, and then we can cruise up, okay? But I don't know if we've got that yet. Everything's always a puzzle. We got 5 waves here, so we shorted the hell out of this, and now we're down here. Now, you're always going to get a bounce of 3. We just do. So we're getting that bounce, but that's just profit taking and short covering for the end of the session, and that helps create the little wave 4. Also too, we need to understand that we could also get a B wave coming back up to here as well, if the market's only going to be in 3 waves. So that will put the B wave from that high to that low at 50-60% in that consolidation area there. So I don't know what we're going to get here yet. You know, that's why we need to take profit, or in part, whatever you want to do. If you're intraday trading, you won't be there at the end of the session anyway. But everybody's got their own dance, and yeah. But from my perspective, we need to see if we get 5 waves down or 3 waves down. So let's just go back over that a little bit further here. So it's just the 4-hour chart. So we know we've got 5 waves down here, and now we know that we've got 3 waves here. We don't know if we're going to get this wave 4 here, or we're going to get a B wave over here, up a bit higher. We don't know that just yet. So they're the 2 things that we need to be looking at. It'll take us a little while to work it out. We know we got the A wave there, so we'll get the B wave and the C wave here, and hopefully we'll come down into this space here, and then we can have our ABC here for the B wave, and it's this one over here that we want. that's it really in a nutshell. But we're going to go into the tick chart and do some exploring. So let's need some need some data. So yeah, it's a little bit sort of messy here for all of this, but we'll need to clean this up a little bit. So wave A and wave 1, they need to be moved out from that space now. I should have done that a while ago. I'll just put wave A and B there for a moment, and this wave C here, that can go over here. Just put that in order there. And we don't need that wave 3, we don't need that really either, 4 and 5 there. So that wave 3 can come here. That can be the A wave here. So this is what we're up against. So the B wave would take us back up to, let's have a closer look at that. So from the top there, roughly down to here, roughly, that would be, I'm not sure what that is, but we can take that and use that. So that's where the market can come back up to from this low here and test that supply in there. Otherwise, we can look at, okay, I just cleaned it up a little bit. So I've put my blue ones in here. So we've got blue 1 or A here, blue 2 or B here for this. And then we've got our 5 waves down here, which I put into green now, which was correct. And we've got wave 3 or C here. If it's C, then we've got wave A there for that. And if we've got that, then we come over here for this A, B, and C wave here for wave B, up to the 50-60% mark, so that's possible. Otherwise, we'll come up here for the A, the B, and the C wave here for wave 4. And then we'll have 5 waves down here, and those 5 waves will be wave A, and then in that case we can look for, well, the A, the B, and the C wave coming back up to here. Okay, so that's how it is. So yeah, maybe I'll do a short little video on this once it's ready for members. Okay, so we can try to capture this to come down through that, unless it's at midnight, because the US, from where I am in Australia, the markets open up in the US at around midnight, so it's a little bit tricky. But anyway, folks, that's where we are at the moment with everything. So you kind of know it. I really hope that that we get this move down through here, because that's just going to make life so much easier, because it will just make an A, B, C pattern coming down, you know. It'll just make life really easy. If we only get 3 waves here, then the rest of the pattern is also going to be a bit nightmarish as well, and the trading opportunities will be much shorter. So anyway, we knew this coming into wave 4s, and let's see how it plays out. Alrighty, thanks for your time. Cheers.